Hi, this is Maria Mandarino, and I am here today to talk to you about the Enneagram and astrology. And specifically, we're going to talk about Enneagram Type 5 and how your chart may reflect some of what you experience in the way of particularly information. So we know Type 5 loves information. As a Type 5, I say we live and die by information, right? So we hold that in high regard. Information is what keeps us safe. That's what Type 5 believes. So recently I was talking to someone about my chart, and he pointed out that well, I knew I had Saturn in Aquarius, and he said something that kind of blew my mind. And he said, "Well, Saturn in Aquarius is just give me the data, just give me the data," and that's very much in keeping with my personality. And I thought, well, my first thought was, as an Enneagram practitioner, my first thought was, well, yeah, Type 5s do that. Give me the data, right? And if you don't, I'll go get it myself. So, so, um, so yeah, I never saw that in my chart through Saturn and Aquarius. Of course, Saturn we think of, being more structured and organized. There's some other placements in my chart that speak to that I'm going to speak about too. But Aquarius is that, the information. We think of Aquarius as being more the internet information from the internet, that kind of data. And I had not made that connection. So Saturn and Aquarius give me the data, right? So structure and information. However, I also have a Virgo sun. So I've always seen my Type 5 nature through that. Virgo being ruled by Mercury. I always thought it was more my Virgo nature, and it is. I mean, my Virgo's in there. So, detail oriented, and facts are certainly details, right? Not the only kind. But it is a mercurial energy. So I've got two hits of that, so to speak, between Saturn and Aquarius and Virgo, my Virgo placements, with my sun being there. Um, so if you are a Type 5 or close to one, there are some things you might want to look at in the chart, in your chart, to see what else may emerge there in the way of self-awareness. That's really what this work is all about, whether we're talking about the Enneagram, whether we're talking about the astrology. We're, at least when you're working with me, I am always interested in how does this make you more self-aware, which makes you more productive, happier, fulfilled, able to reach your goals. When you understand yourself, you can do all these things easier, right? So in your chart, a couple of things you can do if you're a Type 5. Look at what planets you have in Virgo. Look at what planets you have in Gemini as well. Both Mercury ruled signs, right? So Mercury, again, very mercurial, mental kind of energy, very thought oriented, right? Information oriented, fact oriented, right? So, you're going to look at the Saturn and Aquarius thing just because that's just, it's a bit of information that's helpful. But look there, then look at your Virgo and Gemini placements. Okay. Again, because they're Mercury ruled. Um, Also, from the Enneagram perspective, I would ask you if you're a 5, um, how strong a 6 wing do you have? Because I think if you have a strong 6 wing, all of this is going to be a little more amplified. And I am in that camp. So, um, so yeah, I think if you have a 4 wing, it's going to look a little different. And if you can share, if you can speak to that as a 5 wing 4 or a 5 wing 6, please, let me know in the comments. This work is, we learn this work best when we, obviously learn it for ourselves, but when we learn from others as well. Because if the person who's living out the type is the only one that can really speak to the day-to-day experiences of living that type. So I can speak as the 5 wing 6 pretty easily, but can't speak as easily to the five wing four. So again, share your experiences, please. Um, so how much of a six wing do you have if you're a five? And again, look at your Saturn. Where is it in your chart? Because that's where the need for structure, and I'm going to call it organization, um, would be, there might be some indications where your Saturn is, but if it's Saturn in Aquarius, I would be really, really interested to know how many fives out there have Saturn in Aquarius, whatever house it's in. Mine happens to be in my second. But yeah, if you're a five and you have your Saturn in Aquarius, please share that, because I found that so fascinating when he pointed that out, and I never thought of it in terms of my Enneagram and my chart with with that particular placement. Um, the other thing to think about is if you don't have Saturn in Aquarius, um, and depending on what your Virgo or Gemini placements are, look at your aspects. What planets are aspecting those planets. So that's more information that can kind of, it's like holding up a mirror to your type five. So deepens our understanding. I think it's also validating, especially when we get caught up in the more troublesome parts of our Enneagram type, more of the shadow, essentially. If we see it in our chart too, if we see this, basically the same information presented in a different way, it gives us a different level of insight and empowerment. I believe that's how I use it. Um, so I just wanted to share that, and I really would hope that you will share some information as well about what you experience as a type five. I know my type fives are some of my best people that comment on the episodes. I think that has to do with your passion for information. So yeah, I would love to hear what your thoughts are, what your chart placements are, how they reflect your type five, whether you're a five, six wing, or four, as I said. Um, Going to also direct you at the end of this video to my most popular video so far, which is all about the type five. So make sure you click on the link that you see at the end of this episode. I'm going to drop a link in the show notes for you to work with me directly if you would like. I do a free discovery call. So you can sign up for that through the link below. And also, I'm going to give you a link to my free webinar, which is on using your Enneagram to develop healthier relationships. So that's a free webinar that is designed for anybody, not just type fives. It's for all the nine types. So feel free, click below. Click on the video coming up after this one. Thanks so much for being here. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. All your efforts really matter for this chapter for this channel to grow. So again, thank you so much. This will be a short one today, and have a little more content coming up for you later this month. All right, thanks so much. Bye.